What's happening, everyone? What's going on, y'all? Ah, look at us. It is. We're just trying to get this little hair situation straight. But hey, I need to welcome you to Systems Lab Live. This is the February 13th, 2023 edition. We are in part 2 of the money. Oh, the mean green. That's what the series is called. The mean green. Avery's in the building. Great to always to see him. Man, what can I say? I mean, there's a lot to discuss. There's a lot to discuss. I have my notes here. But I figure let's just start off first and foremost with how everyone is doing, what people are working on this month. What are you working on this quarter? What is it? What are you creating, so to speak? I actually just finished a book, and I feel like we're gonna make either, I don't know, a part of show and tell with Ask Ash, or a different season, a different segment of like what I'm reading and what I'm learning. But I feel like that's show and tell. I don't know. But I want to also be accountable for the things that I am also learning, and also wanting to push to talk about, because it's a journey in some of my learning areas. So product development is one of the top ones, personal development as well. And yeah. So we'll figure that part out of the live show. And if you're here for the first time, my name is Ashley Schuler. I'm the host of a weekly live stream dedicated to trends in productivity, project management, managing of projects, leading teams, developing processes. This is really the number one live show that is on YouTube, LinkedIn, and on Instagram Live, that comes to you weekly to really talk about what's happening in the everyday work, what's happening in the day to day. And it's really, quite frankly, I said it when I was doing my I do a round of like voice or video DMs to people, just really, talking to people and getting to know folks. And so I said to somebody today, I said, I think I'm an everyday work specialist. I really feel that way. I said, I'm really interested in the day-to-day work of how people want to get stuff done. That's me. That is me all day. So with that said, that's why I want to know what folks are working on. I find that to be really exciting. I'll be having a segment actually dedicated to that. It'll be called the Builders Series. And so I'll be inviting people on to really talk about the building in real time, like what they're building, whether it's a product, whether it's a service. Yeah, it's really, really cool. And always excited to talk with people about what exactly they are looking to build over time. Uh, what do we have today? Today, as you see the agenda, shout out to Canva and their ability to, help with, the agenda overlay. And I will say this, because I just deleted some old overlays, right? Because I think oh, wait a minute, is that the right one I deleted? Shall I probably deleted the wrong one. But that's okay. That is okay. Uh what we're doing here today is we have a few things we're going to talk about. I have about like 5 articles. I don't know if we'll get through all of them, because we have the creators economy case study. We have a case study of the month. And this is really a new thing that we're doing here at the Systems Lab Live, where we really take a case study and we just break down components of it. This month, we're talking all about the creators economy. And so we're really focusing on workflows. And so that's what I'm focused on. Not necessarily, the content, right? And because there's really great people out there that are really, you know, They're like grade A when it comes to the content creation in that space. I am always obsessed, and I'm always really having a hyper concentration on the workflow, how people are plugged into the process. If you are a solopreneur, if you are by yourself right now, how do you actually get the content created, and where's its story? We're going to talk about knowledge management too in the next week or so. And then we're going to expand on that whole topic too as a project manager in uh, sometime in quarter two. So uh, I want you all to just pull up. If you are here watching this replay, you are at a perfect time for you to go grab a snack, right? Because we're not at the main event quite yet. We're going to be talking about cost turbulence after number 1 and 2, and then we're going to get into like what's next. So we're going to talk about next steps in application. I always want to leave at least 1 to 3 points where you can literally actually implement the very next day, or at least that week, right? All right, so here we are. Make a little, okay, if we could just adjust like so. I think this is adjusted right. Okay. I think we're good. All right. Well, where shall we start? Everyone, where shall we start? I do want to start. Yeah, we'll probably do the first two. We'll probably do the first two. There is a report by TP Insights. I don't know if you're familiar with Sherelle Dorsey, tech founder, investor, all the things, right? She's just really a true force to be reckoned with. She's just super smart author. I'm going to pick up her book, The Upper Hand, The Future of Work for the Rest of Us. And so, yeah, I'm excited to be picking up that book later on this year. But she absolutely did some really great work with tech innovations, and then is just really always pushing the culture forward and the conversation forward, all on like data and the Black tech ecosystem, and and really putting our Blackness and centering the Blackness in the story of entrepreneurship and tech startup and modern technologies. And so I'm a part of this quarterly um membership she has, where I would say like, yeah, like a research membership called The Plug. And I'll actually show it to you because I just pulled it up. And let me hide this right quick and then share my screen about us. This is a plug, folks. So this is a plug right here. Our stories move beyond popular deficit narratives to show the substantive ways that Black people are affected by and engaged with innovation economy, including analyses of modern technologies and the structures and cultures. Let's read that sentence again. I don't know why substantive really tripped me up, but it did today. She says, our stories move beyond popular deficit narratives to show the substantive ways that Black people are affected by and engaged with the innovation economy, including analyses of modern technologies and the structures and cultures. So they launched in 2016 in the first daily tech newsletter covering Black startups and ecosystems. The Plug curated the top news of Black founders and innovators. So this is really a great place for you all to get connected and to be a part of the Plug, TP Insights. This is like the whole entire team, right? Really talented people. And yeah, and I'm not, that's why we're going to have this discussion. I'm going to probably create it on Miro as well, is that I want to also be open about the learning journey when it comes to, me and tech and product and the Black tech ecosystem. And so that's for me, that's why I'm studying product. I'm learning about what product management is, and I'm learning about, all the foundations of it. How do you build a good product? In fact, I am reading, let me hold on, because it's in my little thing. But okay. Well, we'll go right here for a minute. But this is in my resources and learning. But Black women are one of the fastest growing groups of entrepreneurs in the country. And so she has a book called The Black Tech Effect. So I have the Black Tech Effect. I actually have it in my Notability app. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Okay, hold on. Let's present. Hmm. We done lost it. Okay, here we go. Boom. Y'all see it? Black women are one of the fastest growing groups of entrepreneurs in the country. Companies owned by women of color soared to 43% between 2014 and 2019. 50% of Black women led businesses, 50% growth of Black women led businesses in 2022, and 61% of Black women self funded their startup capital. Okay. And again, this is something I need to also understand: pre seed, seed, early stage. Like, what does the funding ladder look like? I'm still learning. I don't know. I don't have it all together for me to understand that world yet, but I'm taking things one step at a time. But this is the this is the article that I wanted to kind of show you all. So it says that in 2020, the number of Black women who raised over 1 million outside venture funding grew to 93, according to Project Diane. But the majority still raises less than the average venture-backed startup. For Black women who have not raised over 1 million, the median seed round is 125,000 compared to 2.5 million for the national median seed round funding for a startup. Wow. I feel like that's a huge disparity. Hmm. Okay. Okay. All right. So they have highlighted four Black tech founders, all here, founded by Joanna Smith Griffin. All here combines conversational AI and interactive nudges to foster attendance and engagement in K-12. This is cool. This platform was originally developed to address chronic absenteeism that Smith Griffin saw firsthand as an educator. It has since evolved into a 24/7 chatbot. How could I teach my students if they weren't in school? At the time, so much of what teachers were asked to do to address attendance issues was unscalable and difficult to implement. So they have an attendance intervention tool. Mm, this is good. Let's see. Seek. Is it Seek or Keek? I don't know. Founded by Mary Spio in 2016, Seek is a mobile VR app that directly connects artists and content creators to their fans through VR concert, NFTs, and unique experiences in virtual worlds. This is neat. As I started building the platform, I realized that there was so many challenges to being able to distribute content in the metaverse, and there was no way that the metaverse will be scalable if we didn't create an app that was simple as posting to YouTube or Instagram. She's raised over 10 million, and she's a U.S. Space engineer and U.S. Air Force veteran. Um, Crediting the Black Star Fund, as instrumental. See, these are the things I need to know about. I'm definitely going to save these people, because this is the stuff I'm talking about. What is and how does this work? How does this work? Okay. I'm gonna share this tab really quickly. Investing in the future. Black Star Fund is a Black-led venture capital firm that invests primarily in Black founders. We invest in the innovators that those who see new enterprise as a gateway to a world that is more abundant, balanced, and productive. Ooh, you see this? You see this? These are like people I don't even know. Oh, I'm gonna hear from them. Oh, for sure. I'm gonna sign up. My goodness. Our team. I am following this youngster on. I'm about to follow Kwame Anku. We're about to follow him on LinkedIn. This is how you start. This is how you start learning, folks. This is absolutely how you start learning. This is a team, folks. Meet the Black Stars. That's cool. Actively Black. I've seen their line. I feel inspired to like purchase from them too. And oh yeah, Sevritri Wilson. She raised a gang load of money recently. Um Look at this. Look at this. This is great. Win Mike T. Brown. Well, I can't wait to hop into all of this. This is exciting. This is really exciting. Okay, so folks, this is great stuff. We will be breaking down more of the Black Tech Effect newsletter over these next several months. Ooh, I'm sorry. I done kicked my dog. I didn't even know the dog was right there. Sorry. Okay, she done laid back down to her rightful spot. That was kind of that was funny. Okay, so we're gonna be breaking down the Black Tech Effect report, some of the how they put together the report, their findings and things like that. That's gonna be a really good. This is gonna be great. This is gonna be a lot of fun. All right, y'all. Let me go to Systems Lab Planning. Um, just for an FYI too. Pause due to poor connection. See, they don't want me up in here. Let me I'm gonna go back to my Systems Lab live notes. Let me go back to the notes, folks, because we covered that. What's the other thing I want to cover? Oh, we want to cover another person, Tiffani Capri Hainesworth. All right, so here's the next article that I want to highlight that I thought was of really cool importance. Tiffani Capri Hainesworth, the first Black woman to solely own a tequila brand. So let's look at this really quickly. So she launched this in 2019. This was like 4 years ago. Almost. It's like a little over 3 years ago. T Capri Tequila became the first Black woman to solely own a tequila brand. However, her journey began in 2012 after she survived a tragic car accident that changed her life. She'd been working for the federal government for 30 years. So she decided that she was going to take a major break. Shout out to people. Okay. Now, are y'all seeing this the same thing? The Garretts have got me. Okay. Let me close this out because y'all seen the cookies. Garrett's is always, yeah. Can we add choices? See, oh, here we go. Because it's just too much. Okay, thank you. It's entirely too much. Groundbreaking. And I've been highlighting. Okay, what was okay? Oh, I see. We're looking at what this is. This is a very nice bottle, by the way. This looks very nice. In 2019, she became a licensed spirits distributor, all while continuing her work as a full-time employee for the U.S. government. Ugh, I love it. Her plans came to a screeching halt at the onset of COVID-19, forcing her to launch the brand later than expected. That's deep. That's really, really deep. So this goes into more of her story on how she created it. But like, this is really cool. She says, this achievement demonstrates to little girls that look like me that anything is possible. You must believe that you can grow as you go. You don't have to wait to have several partners or an investor before you start a spirit brand. You need sheer determination, drive, ambition, and passion. You must be dedicated, consistent, and focused. Lastly, you only need that one yes to catapult you into your destiny. So I think there's a few lessons to be learned here, people. A couple things with what um Tiffani is saying. Like, number one, she had a full-time career and she had a life-changing experience that where she said, let me clearly not okay. Oh, sorry. Just again looking for where the dog is because I like moved my feet and it was like, well, going back to what Tiffani Haynes was saying, Tiffani Hainesworth, she had a life-changing event and said, this is my chance to now do something better, do something different, do something that really is what I'm meant to do. So she went out and, like she said, she went out and just really believed in herself and her product. And I love that. I love that. And I think what it's cool too is that, again, full-time career, didn't really know where this particular brand was going to go. And for all those that are still working and have a career, it is quite all right, or more than all right, to pursue passions and pursue what interests you. And it's also like, it's never too late to start. Yeah. And I'm gonna bring it real biblical right quick, because just reading in Genesis and Exodus, because I'm in Leviticus now. Reading through that, I mean, you had God calling people that were, well, we would say elderly in these days and times, and giving them a command, giving them their marching orders, giving them essentially, the orders, right? Basically telling them, like Moses, it's time. Abraham, it's time. You know what I'm saying? And literally saying, here's your instructions. Go forth, right? And so it's never too late. And so I like that. I like that she said that. It's never too late. It's good. Okay. Good stories, people. Good stories. Inspiring Black women. Really doing great and phenomenal things. Okay, the Black Star people. This is really good. This is really good. What else do I have here? I gotta go back. 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 Okay. This is something that's really interesting. And then I say y'all, let's let us pick up view original. Okay. Let us pick up next week with two more promptings. Let's see. So layoffs are happening, and they're happening in droves, and it is really quite shocking. It's quite shocking. And it's puzzling. I think it's all the things. Sad, I think, at the same time. let's see. I found this because I wanted to get some information about what was happening. And so someone made an Airtable, shout out to Airtable, and this website about tracking. I'm a startup founder that's been tracking layoffs since COVID-19. Let me know if you see anything. 344 tech companies, um, uh, over a little over 100,000 employees laid off in 2023. Mm, okay. So look at that. Twilo, 1,500. This was today. Lord. LinkedIn. LinkedIn laying off folks. Microsoft, LinkedIn layoff of staff amid hiring slowdown. Yeah, but this was a cool resource I found. Yahoo, 1,600. GoDaddy, 530. We Trade. Oh, I don't know. Dell. It's a lot of people. A lot of people, Dell. Let's see. 1,500 people. Ed tech firm Bijou lays off nearly 1,500 employees. What's going on, D. Kendricks? We are just talking a little bit on the show and tell portion, and we're talking about tech layoffs. Next week, we're going to talk about the effects of that with Black tech employees. But yeah, we're finishing this segment, but this is an interesting Miro, 119 people. This is just an interesting whole thing. PayPal, yep, 131. Philips. Is that the what is that? The smoking? Oh no, wait a minute. Oh, Philips Healthcare. Child, I said Philips smoking. What am I thinking of the right thing? I don't know if I'm thinking about the right people. I don't know. Dutch health company Philips will scrap another 6,000 jobs. Woo! This was January 30th of this year. Who said it's impossible foods? Oh. I mean, this is just like everybody. Can I sort by location? Oh. Is there one in? Oh, wow. So I was really gonna try to go with like DC, but that's okay. Oh yeah. I was gonna try to filter. Let me filter by. Shout out to y'all already know. Shout out to Airtable. You already know what it is. You already know AT in the house, United States. Okay, look at this. Twilo. And can we sort this by? Yeah, I want the most one here. Yep, Google, Meta. Let me make sure y'all can look in to this so y'all can see like I'm seeing. Yeah, I just filtered this. Uber, Twitter, better.com, Groupon. And even though Groupon was on here, Carvana, Zillow, PayPal, Airbnb, Instacart. Really? Wayfair. Wayfair gives me just what I need. Stitch Fix, Toast, Zoom. With all their issues they're having, letting go folks. My goodness. DoorDash, Coinbase. Oh yeah, Coinbase. Yeah, we remember Coinbase. Yep. This is a lot. But God bless this person, because this is just my Lord. Oh, did he? My goodness. Mm-mm-mm. Well, all right. We'll do a stop screen on that. But listen up. I mean, what do you say? I mean, it's remarkable that this is happening. It's just remarkable. Claudia, what's going on, Claudia? So I wanted to highlight that, and that was a really cool resource that I wanted to share with you all. We will talk more about the Black talent gap and Sherelle Dorsey's quote about data innovation that I think is worth knowing. But I need to share next week. 220. We're going to talk a bit right now about creator economy workflows. So I'd love to know, inside of the chat, talk to me a bit about the creator, you as a creator, your particular content workflow. What does that look like? Last week we talked about what workflows are. Now I want to know from you specifically, what is your workflow? What is the workflow? So I think that's important. Very, very important. So we talked last week about workflows and what they are. This week I want to talk to you about simple workflows, things that you should be thinking about. So for instance, when we think about the workflow, I want to think about a couple things. You know, your particular process from start to finish about your content creation process. So this could be applicable to your YouTube channel, to live streams, to podcasting, to social media, to email marketing. There's a lot when it comes to the workflow piece. Sample workflow. So ideation, copywriting, creation, review, and schedule ready to post. Okay, we're actually going to be looking at a workflow that I used last year. View original. Outstanding. Yeah, that we don't know really why that came up. I do want to share with you all. Shout out to Whimsical. Whimsical and I have been around since 2019. Boy, have we had a time. We've had a time. Whimsical and I have had a time together. We've had a time together. And I'm going to swing around, right? I'm going to swing around. Let's look at my workflow. This is exciting. And also I will forewarn you, it is probably too much. Okay, why can't I? Oh, wait. Okay, here we go. This is like very exciting. Makes me want to shout. I don't know why that song is. I'm not sure why that song is. I don't even know where it came. I haven't even heard that song, the Outstanding song. Outstanding. Dun, 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 dun. Girl, you knock me out. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. Let's focus here. Okay, let me zoom in so that y'all can kind of see what's exactly happening. Content operations, okay? It's the dramatics for me. I created this little thing in Canva. Too cute, right? Um, Here's the thing. Here's what I was working with sort of last year. Yeah, 2021 and in 22. I had pillars, content pillars. Shout out to our fave content creators and whatnot. The pillars. So I had PM foundations, team culture and strategies, and personal brand. So I now I remember. So I remember this because I think I was doing a workshop. I attended a workshop. Ashley Hogrebe and another young lady did an Airtable and content creation workshop. I thought it was great. I think it was June 2021. Yeah. And I've always heard about content pillars. I'm in the communities, doing all the things. And listen, the buckets, the pillars are necessary. Like knowing what exactly is in your scope, like your content scope. Oh, I love that. Haven't even thought about that. Your content scope so that you know what bucket you're pulling from or what pillar that you are aligning your content with. So I had PM, ClickUp foundations, I had team culture and strategies, and personal branding. Okay. That's what I had. Okay. And this was for the IG workflow. Okay. Let me can I okay. I think we're okay. Do. I don't have anything to present. Okay. So this is the Instagram content workflow. So also I want to also make note that if you are a creative, if you are a well, and also let me back it up. Two things. I believe in these apps, workflow whiteboarding tools, right? For real, for real. Like Miro, Miro's now number one. Whimsical right underneath number two. But I believe in these tools. I don't go really a day without utilizing Miro. I use it for all things strategy, project planning. I can add tasks and add them to my ClickUp. The integrations out of this world. It's great. And so there is such a great, and then you can use them for presentations. I'm going to use it for a presentation on Friday. I enjoy it. I enjoy presenting using this whiteboarding tool. So this is my IG content strategy and workflow. Okay. So walk with me, talk with me. Let me put you on game on what I was doing. So this is the workflow. And in the ClickUp world, because again, this is applicable to ClickUp. Not that you can't do it with um not that you can't do it with Asana, but this is just with ClickUp in mind. What's happening, Tammy? Tammy Jones Studio, Premier Studios. What's happening? Hope you're doing well. We're talking about content workflows. So, all right. So this was made really with ClickUp in mind. Okay. Okay. All right. So here's sort of what we want to do when we're looking at this. There's something in the ClickUp world. Shout out to Ask Evie and Layla, process driven. We're in the ClickUp gang. So uh they have both spoken about this and they have videos and content on this, but something that we've talked about a lot behind the scenes is stages versus statuses. Okay, super super important in the ClickUp hierarchy world, and I think this is like very very important for us to underscore and like to make sure, right, that we understand in the ClickUp world, right, statuses are very important. And ClickUp often, not often, well, they do. They categorize the workflow by like the status: to do, in progress, and complete at its most basic. That's what you should have in your ClickUp space in terms of your workflow. Now, stages really helps for me really look at the process of where the work falls under. So what I've done here is I've literally have stages: draft concept, create the caption, create the graphic, review, and schedule to post. And so there is the status is to do, which is um draft concept, which meaning that there's really nothing that has been done. Maybe you're in ideation mode, maybe you're just drafting because you're like, what is exactly am I doing? Like, what am I doing? Like, what type of content am I creating? Create captions, right? In progress. So you've moved from ideation to action and you're writing captions. You're creating a graphic that's still in progress, and creating captions, create the graphic, review that's in progress, and then it complete is that it's scheduled to post. When we look at the Instagram strategy over here, you'll see that I have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Excuse me. So that's what I was doing, some sort of motivational how to get work done. I don't think that ever came about. I'm just going to be honest with you. Uh Listen, I definitely have gone through my cycles of very interesting strategies. Some works, some didn't. Twitter tips. The Twitter tips did well. I found great success in Twitter tips. And I have a whole bunch of them in my IG posted content, but I also have been capturing them in my Airtable as well. I think I've explained that to you guys, but we'll talk a little bit more about that probably towards the end of the month, where we're gonna look at my Airtable a bit so you guys can see like what's going on in there. But for instance, yesterday I tweeted a whole bunch of stuff. I was talking to folks and I I just was writing. I think I spent maybe about like an hour or so creating content for yesterday and today, creating some threads for future use, and I found great success in this. And so really actually I'm going to put one out tonight. Yeah, I'm going to put one out tonight, and it's going to I took and I'm going to create the carousels. I'm not going to screenshot and write the caption. I'm going to put them in carousels, and I like to switch it up. I like to switch up how I do the Twitter carousels, and so yeah, so that's what I did here. All right, cool. So that's the workflow. This is a workflow. I think this is a pro tip for me: make captions personable, stick with carousels, tell the transformation. I like that. I like that a lot. I like that a lot. Like, you can show the author and hide the author. It's always the details with me. So, questions that you have, leave them in the comment section. Love to walk through with you when it comes to that. I believe I even had another let's look for it. Repurpose? Really? Oh, here we go. Is this oh, this was my outline for the presentation. Mm, exciting, y'all. Is this the right one? Yeah, this was good though. This is exciting. Oh, I'm gonna make sure I use this for another workshop I got in March. This is gonna be good. Simple workflow. Yeah, this is like an example. Content bank, draft the concept, read the caption, create the graphic, review, and schedule. Yeah. So this is like what I did now. And I still do this. I've tweaked it though. Airtable and Zapier for Instagram. Checklist. Okay, so this is again ClickUp specific. So this is going to be a little bit more ClickUp specific. Let me zoom in a bit. There's an automation that maybe if you wanted to add a second checklist, you could. If you wanted to like add extra steps, like this is a podcasting one. Plan episode, record, edit, use the script, pull quotes for Twitter, notes, so you can add additional checklist items for this. Does this make sense? How y'all feeling about this for real? How y'all feeling about this for reals? So that's it. That is all that we kind of have for the workflow piece. The biggest thing is, again, number one, using a whiteboarding tool, especially having a team, is really going to help. I don't want to just have a team, just for yourself, right? And this is going to be instrumental in the way in which you look at what is my workflow from start to finish. The stages versus statuses, crucial to your content production. Crucial. Okay, well, let us get to really the main event, folks. The main event, which is cost turbulence, which I'm very excited about to talk a bit about cost turbulence. Let me make sure I've gotten everything I need to. Okay, yeah, we're good to go. Let's talk. Let's talk, y'all. Let's talk about project cost turbulence. Okay. So last week we defined budgeting and why it's important. So go back to last week's live stream and catch up on that. And I have chapters, I believe, in my YouTube. So you can just go, you don't have to watch any of the beginning of the show. You can just go straight to it. I believe so, because I remember checking that out because I was like, what if I don't want to watch my own stuff? I thought that is funny. Yeah, because I think I'm gonna mute right quick. Okay, let me see. If I go over here, I think that, yeah, like I said, I believe live replay, the chat is on. I could have sworn we didn't have chapters. Goodness gracious. We need the chapters up in here. All right, y'all. We'll get started. We're gonna get started because this is very, very, very exciting. Tracking costs. Okay. Project cost tracking is exactly what it sounds like. The ongoing process of monitoring project expenses. So let's just say you are like, you know what? I got this brand new service, this coaching program. It's going to be fire beyond fire. You're like, I'm ready. I'm ready to rock and roll with this. Like it's gonna be real good. It's gonna be real good. So it's exciting, like no doubt, no doubt. And one of the things is again, especially when we're in this Project Essential series, we talked about project activation. We kind of broke those elements down, and now we're like pulling from project activation, where literally you can be stopped in your tracks when your money is funny and you don't have a sense of where the money is. So I think that's really important for us to underscore and really to emphasize, is that having some form excuse me, having some form of Google sheet, an Excel document that really outlines project costs are really going to save you. If you are again creating a coaching program or launching, see, those words are like, oh yeah, I just need to get a launch strategist. Well, if that's what you choose to do, make sure that you put item, launch strategist, and then cost. Okay, 5K, 3K, 10K, I don't know. But tracking all of your expenses means technology, software, equipment, who else that you've hired and outsourced, curriculum development, things of that nature. Thinkific, Teachable, any one of those, the Circle app, making sure that you have all of the expenses in check. I think it's a wise thing to do. I think it's necessary. And yeah, it's necessary. Project tracking is important. Why? And some of these things where you're probably asking, well, Ashley, it seems like it's 101. But I think it's important to make sure that we have the right habits in place. But we track projects similar to project costs, similar to the way that that we look at our expenses, our personal expenses. We know that projects can get out of hand really, really quickly. And so tracking the cost helps you to be proactive in planning and stopping the snowballing before it occurs. So it's a preventative measure. Project project tracking costs. Will you always know the cost? No. And I think that's really important to note too, because many people are, what they're doing is they are coming up with their idea. They may know some of the cost, but they don't know everything because they are literally building maybe the minimum viable product. See, I'm learning so much by studying the product. So shout out to it's a book on Kindle that someone who's a product strategist told me I need to read. But we're talking about minimum viable product, or as the author would say, minimum viable prototype. Okay. And you're really getting the solution that is going to meet the customer's need onto the market really as fast as you can, to test it, to tweak it, and to improve upon it. Hi, Tracy. Great to see you. And so you will not know all the costs. You won't know all the costs. And if you're launching a coaching program or even a virtual event or an in-person event, man, you really have to sit down and say to yourself, we got to come up with a robust budget so we can know what's expected, and to also know too if there's unintended consequences for some of the things that you are going to be planning. Because listen, that is why people have a no refund policy for their conferences, because they know that life be lifing and people are fickle and folks change their minds. So they folks got to have their guaranteed money. Their guaranteed money. So it's important. It's very, very, very important. And you, again, not knowing all the costs yet is not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. You want to start with what you have. And you also need to know, and this is why the cost can't be siloed. That's why you have to know what you're doing, when you're doing it, what the activities are, what the costs are, so that you can meet, so you can allocate accordingly. That's why that is so important. So let's talk about preventing turbulence. It all comes down to scope. Number one, I hope you're writing this down. Shout out to the people who know that in one of my podcast seasons, I believe it's in 3, where I talk all about project management, I sing the song Creep by TLC. So it's great. But it all comes down to scope. What are you doing and what are you not doing? And so in today's video that's also on YouTube right now, my short daily practice video, I talk a lot about that. But it's true. What are you doing and what are you not doing? That's what it comes down to. Am I in scope or am I not in scope? If I'm spending a whole bunch of money, if I thought I had money for X, Y, and Z, why don't I? It could be because you're out of scope, which is a big, big issue. Um, Tracking, having a tracking sheet, we alluded to this, but just wanting to make it abundantly clear. Milwaukee, oh no, Metro, wait a minute, MWLYP. What's going on? How are you doing? I was just talking to the former president of Milwaukee. That's why I said it like that. What's happening? YP's in the building. YP's in the building. But what I wanted to say is that it's very, very important that we are tracking. We got to track. We got to track. We got to track, right? We got to track because it's very, very important. It's important that we're tracking our expenses. That's why it's important. Okay. So you want to make sure that you got an actual estimate versus actual so that you know for next time what the potential issues could be. What the potential issues could be. Metropolitan Wilmington. What's going on? Make sure to shout you all out properly. What's going on? So with that said, identifying potential risks. So this is like really important, right? So I know that the Metro Wilmington chapter and many of the other chapters of the Urban League for the YPs, we just had our join week. So potential risks that are identified are all around the events that took place. Are we going to have an overabundance of people that may come in attendance? What if people don't show up? What happens then if we have a minimum? What if more people show up than it's attended? What happens if there's rain? What happens if somebody gets into an accident? What else is there? What happens if the technology doesn't work or the internet? What happens? So identifying potential risks are very, very, very important because you can actually be very, very proactive in ensuring that, hey, if there is a potential that the internet is down or that it's weak, that we can go and buy out a router of some sort or a, what do you call those mini MiFi or Wi-Fi devices, so that everyone who is in attendance has the Wi-Fi for this particular event. So that's why it's important to identify risks and how much the impact will be, right? Vendor and contractor contracts, right? Vendor contracts, graphic design, web design, whatever it is that you have, it is important to review your terms and conditions. Okay. That's something that Dustin says on the podcast, Holding Court with Ebony K. Williams. He says that often. Make sure that you review your terms and conditions. And he's absolutely right. So what you want to do in the case of outsourcing people to help you with your particular project, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you understand the deadlines, the revisions. You want to make sure that you are clear, crystal clear on extras that may cost you. And so oftentimes we may not realize that there may be particular items inside of the contract that we should have been aware of, or we should have been paying more attention to, and we had it, and we did it, and so that runs an issue, especially when it comes to revisions and it comes to the end of the contract, and maybe you need to re-up as you should have, but you didn't get a chance to. And so reviewing the terms and conditions can really help you to guide where you should be spending your money, and also to know how much money to allocate when it comes to certain contracts and vendors. So when we talk about planning in-person events and retreats, or even for the example of the launching the coaching program, you want to ensure that when it comes to the graphic designers, the web designers, those that are going to help you put together the teachable course, or the course creators, that you understand what's inside of the terms and conditions, so that you are not shortchanged or coming out of pocket, out of budget, out of the budget line item that you've allocated for yourself. Many of you are probably thinking, now, do I have to be an accountant to do this? Or I've never really put together a budget. This is okay, because in the beginning, we just mentioned, just by creating a simple Google Sheets or a Microsoft Excel document, you can literally just start to just write down 5, 6, 7, 8 items related to your schedule and related to the activities that you know are going to happen, so that you know what you need, and you can start researching or outsourcing that, and begin to build the budget. Or at least you can just start with, all right, I know that these are the key items over the next few weeks. Let me make sure that I have enough funds for this, and let me get the ball rolling on task one that will require outsourcing. And then you can take it step by step like that. So for larger projects, yes, there's definitely going to be a little bit more details in that, and definitely more intricacies and things that you're going to be thinking about when it comes to the scope, the cost, and the quality, looking at the triple constraints and things like that, as we lean that terminology, leaning a little bit more into the PM world on that piece. But if you are innovating, which all of us are, but especially if you are creating a product of sorts, you're not always going to have everything up front. So make sure that you're just very clear. The product owner, the business owner, everybody that is involved knows what's happening, and the person that is in charge of getting the money, securing the money, managing the money, they are well aware of what everything costs, especially if you are leading on an effort that requires a lot of features, that requires building. Uh, you know, it's going to be good, because you'll need to be highly communicative. I think that's how you say it. All right. Well, we've reached the end. We have most certainly reached the end. And what do I have in store, just in terms of what you should do next? What should you do next? Well, you should take the time to look at your terms and conditions of your graphic designers, your logo designers. You should also be reviewing. If you haven't put together your budget spreadsheet, please do that this week. Look at what things are costing you and seeing what is exactly feasible. That's what I would do. All right. What's going on, Ashley? And that's all I have for you. Next week, we got more. We're going to be talking a little bit more about, how to put together the budget, tools that you can use, etc. More on the creators economy and workflows and how to organize content. We'll be talking about Airtable and how I'm organizing my content there. So, yeah, lots of behind the scenes, but some really good conversation as we continue to move forward and talk really about the money behind the projects and what we should be thinking about, what we are challenged by, and how we can create strategies for success. So that's it. This is Systems Lab Live. Be sure to share this live stream with a friend. Say, hey, friend, I saw this cool live stream. This girl is talking about the money. And make sure when you are doing your work, you just have this in the background, and you'll be able to walk through it and just listen, because you'll learn something. For sure. That's all I have for you all. Is there any announcements that I have? Let's see. I'm doing a workshop on Friday with the Women of Project Management, living in an async world. So I'm very excited about that. I love talking about async communication and being able to work collaboratively without having to be on Zoom 24/7. And so I got some exciting content and things for that group. And yeah, I love it. I love it. All right, y'all. We will talk soon. Bye. What's going on, y'all?